Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at the X-Files. And we're on the 4th season now. And it's really enjoyable going through all these every week and reviewing them and watching them again. I love it. Anyhow, this is The Field Where I Died from 1996. Now, previously, we'd had Unruh, and the next one will be Sanguinarium. Now, this is from the 4th season, and it's the 5th episode. And it's considered a Monster of the Week story, so there's no of the mythology involved in this story. And it was transmitted on the 3rd of November 1996 on the Fox network, and on the 16th of February 1997 on Sky. The 8th of October 1997 it was transmitted on BBC One, and it's written by Glenn Morgan and James Wong. What a great writers. They'd returned to the X-Files after the cancellation of Space Above and Beyond. So here they are, doing what they do best. And of course, they're going to go on to even greater things. Oh, yes. What a brilliant team of writers they were. And now, as producers and, well, you know, all sorts of things they're involved in. Anyhow, the music is by Mark Snow, as always, and the locations are, as usual, of Vancouver. And they always look good. I say this every week, but it's true. They look fantastic. Now, it's directed by Ron Bowman, and he was the director, of course, of the X-Files feature film, Fight the Future, which I think is from 1998, I think. I should know that date by now after doing it. I know, I'm sorry. But I think it is about that, 1998, I think it is. Then we've got 33 episodes were directed by Rob Bowman. So, I mean, he is just a fantastic director for the X-Files. His contribution is immense. It's like Glenn Gordon's contribution. It is amazing. So let's go through the cast. We've got David Duchovny playing Fox Mulder, Gillian Anderson playing Dana Scully, and Mitch Pileggi, who of course plays Walter Skinner. Brilliant. I always love seeing Skinner. Now we've got Kristen Cloak, who plays Melissa. And in terms of films, she was in Final Destination 2000, Black Christmas 2006, Lady Bird. Oh yes, Lady Bird 2017. And of course, I know her from the cancelled Space Above and Beyond series, which was such a shame only getting one season. But there we are, it's Fox Network. And then if you look, she's in a lot of TV series and TV films. Really a good actress there. And then we've got Michael Dobson, who plays the BATF agent. And he's a voice actor now. He does lots of animation in films and TV animation. Voice actor now. And then we've got Michael Massey, who plays Vernon Ephesian. Note the Ephesian, the biblical reference there. And of course they called Ephesians the group that he's involved with. Now, he was in The Crow, 1994. He was in Tales from the Hood, 1995. He was in Seven, 1995. He was in The Game, 1997, some great films there. He was in Amistad, another good film, 1997. And of course, he was in Catwoman, 2004. Yes, don't hate me, but I love Catwoman. I'm one of these people who love it. I know a lot of people are very negative, and I've had a lot of stick for it. But Catwoman, Halle Berry, you can't go wrong. I loved it. And then we've got The Amazing Spider-Man, 2012 he was in, and he was in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, 2014. Two really good Spider-Man films. I like both of those as well. He was in The Last Survivors, 2014. He was in The Last Man Club, 2016. And then a lot of TV series and TV films. You're saying to yourself, what is all this about? Well, I think you may have some clues already. It's really centered on two aspects here. Now, an informer inside this cult, the Ephesians, reached out to them, and they're trying to make a closer connection to them. Her name is Melissa. And then they discover that through past life regressions, because that's what... You see, you've got the thing where you've got our past life regressions real? Or is it part of her being a multiple personality, which is a condition, a recognized condition? That's what we see mentioned here, which of course is fascinating. And I've seen examples in real life of this. I've come across, and these regressions are absolutely fascinating, especially from a historical point of view, having quite a sort of historical knowledge about language and what people were doing and what they were saying. Some of it is very interesting, especially people who have no historical background, no research, but people say, they must have picked it up at some time in a book or something. But really, if they're not interested in history, it's unlikely they would have been reading academic books. Yes, they could have been reading general history books. But if they say, they don't really have a history, a historical interest, you could just look around and see. So it makes it even more interesting when they're using things that only people of a historical research would know, and I found it very interesting, very fascinating. And I've got quite an open mind on this subject. I don't know whether it's been proved one way or the other, but it's an area that is interesting to look into. And when you see it firsthand and thinking, wow, how do they know that? Fascinating. They still say, but they must have picked it up from somewhere. But yeah, I'm sure. That's what I like about it. It's an open thing. I think this story received a lot of positive reviews, and I think people like this story like I do. The critics were very favourable to it, and X-Files fans, it was one of those stories that you do remember. And as soon as I was watching this again, I thought, oh yeah, it's coming back to me from when I first watched it, which is quite a few years ago, a long time ago. I knew even the conclusion of where it was going to go, but it didn't spoil it at all for me. I was totally wrapped up and involved in this. I must admit that Kristen Cloak is a great actress. She really nails it. But as I say, I remember in Space Above and Beyond, she was great in that. And here she is guest starring in the X-Files, and she is spot on. And for me, anybody who's been in anything connected with Final Destination films is okay with me, because I love those films. It's my best film series that I really enjoy. Anyway, I'm going off again, but so that is my opinion about this. I highly recommend this. Definitely, it's something that I think you can just enjoy, and it leaves it open. But yeah, it's very good. It's rated well, I would say, this episode, definitely. So before I go, as I always do, there it is. There we are. That's the little box going into the bigger box. And I hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you subscribe, you can see all the previous episodes I've done in the playlist of the X-Files. I've done lots of reviews, but I do other things, other TV series and films as well. I do films, sometimes a bit of music, maybe not as much now, but and collecting as well, collecting things. It's all there. It's got a retro vibe. I think that's, you can see me, a bit of an oldie. So, and if you like this video as well, please give the video a like. If you give it a like, it's good for my channel. It gets it out onto YouTube, and hopefully other people might enjoy it. And if you have any comments, please put your comments down. I'll always respond to your comments. And that's it. So, all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.